on the version that you, 18
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It is Friday, December 27th, 24. Time is 4:37 PM, and we call this special meeting of the Board of Estimate Contract Order. DC Bonilla, can you please read the meeting notice
Yeah.
and call the roll?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is the special Board of Estimate and Contract meeting scheduled today, Friday, December 27th at 4:30. We are in the Mayor's Conference Room here at City Hall for the purpose to adopt items from the Monday, December 23rd, 2024 City Council meeting and any other business. This special meeting notice was noticed to the Journal News and the LoHUD Media Room on our social media platforms and in the rotunda here at City Hall. Roll call sheet. Comptroller Morton?
Comptroller Morton?
It's on mute.
Yeah, virtual
Thank you. Council President Gleason?
Here.
from
Mayor
Florida,
Patterson
in
Howard?
case somebody need to know.
What he said?
He said.
From Florida, in case somebody need to know.
Okay. Thank you.
You got a haircut too.
Mhm.
That's what I said the other
Yeah.
day.
Ain't got no haircut. Stop it.
Look so fresh.
It's so clean. All right.
Proceed with the agenda.
Yes. Thank you. Under resolutions approving ordinances, number one, from the Department of Law and Ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with LexisNexis Legal for the purchase of software for the Department of Law, including CaseMap, CourtLink, and Lexis AI.
So moved.
Second,
On the question?
The law.
well,
Hearing
on the
none.
question, what is this software for specifically?
For case management, the law department greatly appreciates having this new tool.
And it actually also was a recommendation of CGR, which did an assessment of the law department and said that CRM software would be really, really great for them to have, case management software. And so this is a good way to help them keep all of their dates, their cases, all organized and easily accessible.
So this was a recommendation from the outside consultant that the city council, I guess, contracted to review the law department's operations, and based upon that, it was a recommendation for this to help to improve their efficiency.
Yes. Well,
Correct.
yeah, but it was something we had already knew we wanted and needed. So it was just really great that they confirmed what we kind of knew and wanted already, so.
Yeah, we were already in the process of transferring that stuff, but this is good. And
This is,
and this is opera money.
and it's ARPA money.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not taking away from whatever it was at the Corporation Counsel's office may have been doing. I just
No, but
wanted to emphasize
thing.
that
We hit
this
it up.
was also, like, this is also something that came to, because sometimes there's always this criticism around that we are wastefully purchasing things. And I think that it's always good when we make sure that some things are confirmed, and then also that there's also some outside kind of, recommendations too. So that's all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, no, that's right. That's why I say it was nice to have the confirmation. I don't think there's probably a municipal, a city of our size that doesn't have this type of software. So to have it definitely does help with efficiency. And it feels like a bonus to us, but it's a necessary, it's a necessary tool. So we're catching up to this century.
So is this so just so I'm clear, so is there an annual cost to this, after the opera money is over? And if so, how much is that?
Annual cost to this is about $15,408. So
And-
we already have LexisNexis. This is an add-on to LexisNexis for CRM. So it already incorporates itself into what we have and allows for that information to be easily transferable and accessible.
Thank you.
So it's not a prohibitive ongoing cost.
Right.
It probably will pay for itself quickly. Roll call?
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard,
Aye.
Number two, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to amend the agreement with National Water Main Cleaning Company to extend the contract end date for outfall 24 sewer system cleaning and inspection project 122022-1.
So moved.
Second,
On the question? Hearing
this
none, roll call.
funding is
Oh.
coming from,
Huh?
this funding is coming from
This money
which
comes,
source?
it's not ARPA money.
It's part of the 150.
This is part of the $150 million New York State water infrastructure grants.
Okay, so these are the expenditures that actually we lay out and then we get reimbursed from the state for them based upon the allocations that have been given through the various sources, correct?
Yes, but we should also have money in our revolving loan fund because when we get reimbursed, so we did get like a $5 million revolving loan fund. And so we should be able to pay out of that fund. And then when they reimburse us, it should go back into that fund. So it doesn't impact cash flow.
Well, as long as we actually request those monies from those funds beforehand, right? This was the conversation that I had with the assistant comptroller about this, right? About all of these things that are coming up now. I just want to make sure we all are clear about how we have to do this so that we make sure that we don't impact cash flow. And I'm doing this only because I want to make sure that we are ahead of it in 2025, given the very, very, very tight budget that has been adopted. So just want to make sure we got the mechanics in place to ensure that we are approving this. We're going to then get the money from, as you just said, from the loan, revolving loan, and then we're going to pay it out, and then we're going to get reimbursed and refund, replenish that fund to make sure that we always have available funds there. Now, I guess from my standpoint, I just want to make sure that DC Hamilton is also make sure that he's working with the accountants to make sure that that money that is coming in is clearly earmarked and separated from any general fund so that we don't end up using that for something else. Just want to make sure we all got the mechanics down.
Correct. And I've been working with George on setting up a separate account for those funds to go into so that it doesn't get commingled with our other funding.
Okay.
Okay. Roll call?
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Okay, number three, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a retroactive emergency contractual agreement with PCI Industries Inc. for the removal and replacement of sanitary and stormwater sewer sections at Fifth Avenue between Second and Third Street and appropriating funds from the DEC Water Quality Improvement Grant Program.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, so the DECW QIP is the $10 million grant. That's separate from the $150 million grant.
Are we able to do the same thing, which is to get that from the loan, or no, or this is actually a straight reimbursement?
Well, since they're both DEC, EFC, we should be able to do it the same way, but I'll check on that.
If, from what George said, we can still use the same loan because it's all the same, part of the same, funding group.
Yeah, DEC, EFC.
We'll confirm.
Two different grants, but the same funding source.
All right, Ms. Hamilton, you got that managed?
Yes, sir.
All right, just want
And,
to make
and
sure.
just for the public, DEC, Department of Environmental Conservation, EFC, Environmental Facilities Corporation. Roll call.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number 4, Department of Public Works, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to approve a change order and final payment to WeatherTight Systems, Inc. for additional repairs to the City Hall roof and authorizing the payment from ARPA city-owned property H1/620.203C930.
So moved.
Second.
On the question, just quickly, WeatherTight Systems did come here and do some roof work for us either late 2023 or early 2024. And they did what we had enough to fund them for at that time. As we have replenished ARPA funds with other funding that was available through bands and things of that nature, HUD and WQIP, DEC, whatever, we've been able to move ARPA money around so that we can do more with the ARPA money. And so this ended up being a change order late in the game because we were able to secure extra funding or identify extra funding. And so that's how it came to be a change order. Because we were able to do more because we were able to identify some last minute funding.
So with this repair, basically now the roof in totality will have been repaired? Or is there something, or are there any other things that still need to be done?
There are other things that happen. I mean, the roof has multiple things. So, it's the regular roof, the flat roof, the tilted roof. But then there are things like parapets, and other pieces to the roof. Like people think of the roof as one thing, but the roof is kind of more like 4 or 5 different places. So we've done the roof, we've done flashings, but I know going forward, we're still gonna have to do work around parapets. And then we're gonna have to do brick pointing and all of the work around all of the windows because water comes in from those places, but at least the roof, we've been able to get kind of tight right now. But there are some of the parapets that still are gonna have to be done going forward.
And are those
We're
being
doing-
accounted for? Are those being accounted for in the projects, I guess, in capital projects that are coming forward in funding, or no?
Well, we don't have any funding identified for them yet because the funding for the ban are for the police and court roof. But it is all laid out in our environetics reports that we've been getting for everything. I mean, the amount of capital repairs that we probably have to do on all of our city buildings is in excess of $200 million. And so as we identify funds, we will take care of, especially, I guess you would talk about that level 1, those level 1s, which are critical to health and safety and to kind of closing the envelopes of our building and things of that nature. So we're trying to focus on all of our level 1 concerns first, and then the level 2 and level 3 things identified in the different reports we'll continue to do. But yeah, we just don't have the money to address everything. I think the numbers for the police and court building alone are like $13 million. And so we've identified probably about almost $2 million between ARPA and BAN for that roof. And then, of course, fire departments, about $6 million for those projects. Dole Center, some of the state money, Armory, some state money. So little by little. Anything else on the question? I didn't mean to make you sad.
No, you didn't make me sad. I was just thinking about it. I just wanted to make sure. I guess my major concern is enveloping. I guess because of the elements. That's all. I just want to make sure that, well, that we're doing what we can to get those done. And if not, we at least, I think I need to know exactly to make sure we envelope these buildings, because the problem is that all of the elements coming inside is just going to make the conditions of the building worse if we don't stop that from coming in. So I guess we can follow up with DPW on that just to see where we are, so we can strategize on how do we at least make sure that we stop those things from coming in. Because you're right. I mean, parapets and pointing, brick pointing are important, just as important as just what people think is just a general roof. I mean, that's the reason why we had the issues that we had over at the Armory. And we probably still having some major issues over with the skylight over at the Dole Center. So we just gotta focus in on those.
Absolutely, and that's what we're doing. We asked for the Environetics first report to come in, because we knew that we were using ARPA monies that and for this building. So, they've given us their almost final draft of those reports, and they've completed the inspection and the surveying and the engineering NAP reports for the other buildings. Now they're just putting a estimated price to all of the things that they were identifying that needs to be done, so that we can have the information to go out and seek funding and get support to address the buildings that haven't been addressed probably in 30, 40 years. But what I find interesting, and I'm going to make this short, is that our buildings that are our newest built buildings are in the worst condition.
Oh, wow.
They're absolutely in the worst condition. They were built poorly. And I think there was some tricky Mickey stuff going on. Respectfully, I'm sorry. When you are using car radio hoses for heating and ventilation in the court building, something wasn't done right. Something wasn't done right. And we find some of the same stuff in the Dole Center and the same stuff in Fire Station 3. And those are and the animal shelter. Those are the 4 newest built buildings in the city, and they're actually in the worst condition because they were either built cheaply or done by the wrong people, but they're in the worst condition. So that's sad. That makes me sad. Roll call.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number 5, Department of Public Works and ordinance authorizing the purchase of fleet vehicles for various departments of the city of Mount Vernon, utilizing funds from the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA.
So moved.
Second.
On the question?
And these are for who? The assessor?
One for the assessor's office, one for the building department, management team, because they don't, everything has been given to the line staff, but they are also responding. And then, one for the planning department. So there are 3 for 3 different departments, and there'll be shared vehicles for those departments, as they are going out and doing home assessments, as they are responding to fire scenes, complaints, inspections for the leadership and for the planning department, as they continue to do the work around the comprehensive plan and zoning, and economic development.
So that was my question, to be honest, was the planning department and the need for a designated vehicle for that department. The other 2 I understood, but I questioned, or I'm questioning, or the dedication of, not saying that we shouldn't purchase the vehicle, because we probably need vehicles anyway. We got to also look at a possibility. We talked about this too, Mayor, about the possibility of even transitioning to some sort of kind of shared fleet kind of process. Of course, we have to get to a place of organization for that. I recognize that. So, but in the meantime, it just came to me that, okay, to what extent is a planning department actually going to use a vehicle on a daily, weekly basis? Or is that, is that something that vehicle at least is available for other things when not used?
I mean, I think it could probably be available for some other things when not used, but it right now would probably be shared amongst about 6 staff also dealing, GIS, different urban renewal. So all of them that are in that department, it's not like it's just the commissioner's car. So they go out, you have the FEC, community development. So, there's different divisions to the planning department that would all be sharing that. They're not doing daily inspections, but they are going out daily into the community.
Okay.
And I guess the regional meetings there, where they're being part of the regional economic development and having those conversations, so,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just used differently.
As we think about this future, let's think about how we make sure that we keep an ongoing kind of assessment of these vehicles and how they actually are utilized, and if there may be a better way for us to kind of do this, just in going forward. That's all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Roll call.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard,
Aye.
Department of Public Safety, and ordinance authorizing the award of RFP 0016-2024 and authorizing a contract with Inveris for the renovation of the gun range.
Authorizing the mayor to enter
Enter
into the contract for the renovation of the gun range.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number 7, Office of the Mayor, Department of Management Services, an ordinance to amend ordinance number 6 adopted by the City Council on May 8, 2024, to authorize the mayor to trade 4 non-ADA compliant buses for 3 ADA and wheelchair accessible buses with Don Brown Bus Sales, Inc.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard,
Aye.
the Department of Public Safety, and ordinance authorizing the amendment of the position title of Personnel Associate to Personnel Specialist in the 2024 Public Safety Budget.
So moved.
Second.
On the question?
Just so we're aware, that this, is probably gonna have to be redone again in 2025. Because the, adopted budget, currently has the, personnel associate position. So there's
Okay.
gonna have salary, there's gonna have to be a change.
Okay. Roll call.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard,
Aye.
Office of the Comptroller, and ordinance authorizing the Comptroller to enter into an agreement with Prime Force for archiving of UKG workforce time and attendance data.
So moved.
Second.
On the question?
So just some clarity. So as you know, we've been in my office and moving towards a much more efficient kind of efficient operation for time and attendance. And so part of that has been the initiative to make sure that there's much more accessibility to time and clocking time as well as requesting time off and all of those things in which employees are responsible for doing and supervisors are responsible for approving. And so, as we continue to do this, we continue to gather additional more data. And what we need to do is to make sure that we're never in a position like we were before when they did a payroll audit and we could not find records or documents, or even when the law department actually requests for particular time and attendance information, that we're not scrambling to pull this information together. And so this request is to allow us to be able to partner with Prime Force to be able to archive this data and make sure that we always have it available for us. As also is kind of required by law to do that, but it also allows us to create greater functionality for the employees, that one, they can better manage their time, and be able to see their time and know what they have. And so that we're not wasting precious time nor staff hours, kind of pulling together these reports and things of that sort. So that's what this is about, more efficient kind of operation around time and attendance.
Roll call?
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number 10, Office of the Mayor, an ordinance authorizing the adoption of the revised American Rescue Plan Act ARPA budget for the fiscal year 2025.
So moved.
Second.
On the question?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying we're pretty much to the end of it, and you know, that's why we moved this meeting up so that we could make sure that we execute all of our contracts and that we encumber all of the money through contracts and purchase orders by December 31st, 2024. We have made significant changes in this budget since we first adopted it in 2021. I think infrastructure was like 25%. It went down to 14%. And categories have changed and final rules have been changed, allowing us to do different things and move money in different places. But then most importantly, as people look at this, you know, I want them to know if we removed monies from a category in here and you might see it as zero or greatly reduced, it's because we were able to use non-ARPA monies to still meet these needs. So whether it was eviction prevention or foreclosure or some things in police and fire or, you know, infrastructure, whether it was DEC or state grants or federal grants, we have not abandoned any of the priorities that we first adopted. We just made sure that we were able to fund them because those monies are very targeted that we were able to go after, whereas ARPA money is more broad and we can move it, and it allowed us to have more flexibility to meet emerging needs over the past 4 years. So I want to thank the comptroller, I want to thank the council, and I want to thank our leadership team here across the city for continuously finding ways to bring resources and money into the community. But the ARPA money definitely laid a foundation for us to do some other things.
Okay. We're adjusting it so we can make sure that we have everything in line for the final report that needs to be given to them on this. So thank you.
Thank you.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Office of the Comptroller, an ordinance authorizing the Comptroller to enter into an agreement with Insight Gov procurement and tax and revenue software and authorizing the payment for said software from ARPA budget line H1680.203C927.
So moved.
Second.
On the question?
I already spoke about this to the council. I just want to make sure we emphasize to the public that the reason we're doing this is to kind of make sure that we can have efficiency in our tax collection and also dealing with all of these outstanding taxes in which there's been a lot of conversation and criticism around processing them and making sure that we collect these outstanding taxes. Unfortunately, our antiquated bifurcated system presently makes it more challenging. This will help us to streamline that and become a little bit more efficient in how we deal with the tax collection and the tax arrears process as a whole.
Government efficiency. Roll call?
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard,
Aye.
Department of Planning and Ordinance authorizing the purchase of a plotter from MRA International and authorizing payment for said purchase from the Department of Planning and Community Development budget line A 8020.405.
So moved.
Second.
On the question?
I will say on the question, more of a cautionary statement. As I said in the meeting the other night, Commissioner Rouse mentioned that sometimes developers might, forget to add a copy. This machine should be strictly used for City of Mount Vernon business. Anybody who misses giving a copy of something the cost should be on them and not on the city to reproduce it for them. So I just want to make sure that this particular piece of equipment is strictly used for city business.
Is it an opportunity to also charge them?
It could be.
So it could be a revenue stream.
It could be.
So
It could be, but I don't
No,
want,
but we
I don't think it's
city-
fair to give it to them.
No, no.
for
Oh,
nothing,
no,
because that's
that-
happened several
It will
times.
not be without cost, and so
Yeah.
definitely used for city business. And if there is an opportunity, we can look at what comparable prices are to produce these privately, and should they opt for that, then it's another revenue stream potentially.
Yeah.
But we don't want to use it for that so much that we wear out
Our
the
machine.
plotter and
Right.
wear out our machine, and we don't have.
So they should
Use
look into
for it.
pricing for that.
Absolutely. Roll call?
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard,
Aye.
Department of Planning and Community Development and ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept Safe Streets and Roads for All SS4A federal grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation and to create a road safety action plan for the city of Mount Vernon.
So moved.
Second.
On the question?
I have a question. I wanted to make sure that pedestrian safety is a part of this. It's incorporated into it, correct?
Yes, Safe
Okay.
Streets for All is kind of like complete streets. It is for those who are walking, biking, driving, riding, buses, scooters, everything.
Because and I'll say a brief statement. I just came back from Barcelona that is completely pedestrian safety guided. And it's amazing, all the different extra things, like people actually adhere to the no walking. I mean, if you walk across the street, you might get taken out by a bicycle or a scooter or what have you. But I think pedestrian safety is very important, especially here in the city of Mount Vernon with all the schools that we have around some very busy streets.
And, for me, this was not just a campaign promise, but, we lost Drew back in 2019. And we wanted to make sure that was one of the things that I talked about, complete streets. And so when we saw an opportunity to become involved in the National League of Cities program where we received a lot of technical assistance, and then in learning more and helping to put our plan together. And then they worked with us to go after this funding. It was a great opportunity. And so we definitely want to make sure from our youngest children to our most senior residents are safe as we move throughout the community. And we know traffic calming measures been a challenge in every community as people just are not patient. So I'm excited about this grant to help us develop a strong plan and implement it. Roll call?
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number 14, Department of Public Safety, an amendment authorizing the purchase of 400 Visa gift cards to support the Public Safety Camera Program, PSCP, to enhance community safety and crime prevention.
So moved.
Second.
On the question?
So what, okay.
We
What-
passed.
I was gonna say, we passed this
already.
What?
We
Mhm.
passed this in the last Board of Estimate meeting. We had to redo it because we were gonna buy Target Visa gift cards, which could be used anywhere. But then they said they wouldn't be able to produce the Target Visa cards for us in bulk. And so we had to change a vendor. So we had to bring it back to the council and to this board. So now we're not going through Target as the vendor. We're just going through the bank.
Okay, just wanna highlight my quality control, internal controls issues around these, just to make sure that we put that system in place.
Absolutely. Roll call?
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Now moving on to Department of Public Works requests for partial payments. Number 15, Department of Public Works, a resolution authorizing partial payment number 4 for resurfacing of various streets in the city of Mount Vernon to Petrillo Contracting, Inc. for $794,493.29.
So moved.
Second,
On the question?
is this in it? Okay, so this is in addition to something that we
You're breaking up
And freezing.
and freezing.
approved, I guess. And then my question, and I guess that's either for the Deputy Commissioner of Public Works or for the Comptroller to answer. Our reimbursement for this, is this part of that March that we gotta pay it before and get reimbursed by March?
This is the one that's being paid for through URA by CDBG. So this is the one where we're just acting as a pass-through for that payment.
So we're not, so wait a minute, so I'm clear. So we're not expending anything, is URA paying it directly, or are we paying it and then we are then invoicing or getting reimbursed from URA?
So from what I understand from the conversation with George and Sylvia, URA will send us the money to pay the invoice. So they'll send us the money directly and then we pay the vendor, and that way we serve as a pass-through and that it's recorded in our books.
Okay, got it.
Roll call?
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye. I just want to thank URA for being an important partner in the city of Mount Vernon. The amount of funding that we receive through URA for capital needs and special projects here in the city is important. And I know that's an agency for a long time that the worth has been questioned, but the funding that they bring to the city is beyond what we're expending. And I know the comptroller kind of has showed that a few times in writing, but it's good to have that resource. Okay.
Number 16, Department of Public Works, a resolution authorizing partial payment number 9 for sewer system rehabilitation Phase 1 to National Water Main Cleaning Company, $886,142.48.
So moved.
Second,
On the question? Okay, roll call?
Comptroller Morton,
aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Number 17, Department of Public Works, a resolution authorizing partial payment number 10 for sewer system rehabilitation Phase 1 to National Water Main, $561,677.98.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? This 150 million keeps giving and not at the taxpayer's expense, so. And we've seen a market decrease in sewer backups and stormwater challenges, so it is moving along and we're grateful. Roll call?
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howe.
Aye.
Under salary resolution, number 18, salary resolution for the Department of Public Safety, Police Department, Personnel Associate / Personnel Specialist.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? We gotta do it again in 2025. Roll call?
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
That concludes the agenda.
Just as we close, I mean, I think on here we have probably about dollars in payments that are coming through, the 150 and the 10 million. It was misunderstood by the public in the past that the city of Mount Vernon wouldn't be managing this money. Clearly, we are and have been managing this money. And I just want to say that, right? Because there's still this narrative out there that the city is not a trusted enough entity in the controller's office, or this administration or the council has not been a trusted enough entity. We did a partnership with the county should we need them, but the county has not been administering these funds on our behalf. These monies are coming from the state to the city and being paid by the city to the vendors, and it's been done on this level. And so I want to kind of just make that clear that the city is managing hundreds of millions of dollars in grant funds, and we're doing it without issue and without any findings up until this point. So thank you and your team, and I want to thank the team in the city for doing what needs to be done for the residents of Mount Vernon and keeping the trust of our state and federal partners. And that's it. Everyone,
I make a motion to adjourn.
yeah.
So move.
Roll call.
Second.
We do have a meeting scheduled if we should need it for Monday.
We still need it. We have 2 RFPs, so.
Okay, so our meeting on Monday will be for the opening of 2 RFP bids.
Any other business?
And any other business that might come up between now and then. But for right now, we will have the regularly called meeting, and it is for the opening of bids.
Yes.
Roll call.
Oh, yes, I roll call.
Okay, Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye, the meeting is adjourned at 5:20 PM.